Hi, I'm Mehul Hari, and we're here at HTML5 DevConf 2014 in San Francisco, and I'm here with Frank. How do I say your last name?
Frank Greco.
Frank.
Greco. Yeah.
Very easy. Frank
Yeah,
Greco.
very easy.
Now, Frank, you did a talk today, and what was the title?
The title was WebSocket Past, Present, and Future, and we're looking at the WebSocket technology, where it came from, what it's used for today, and where it's going to be used for in the next generation Internet of Things.
Okay, all very interesting. Quickly, where did it come from?
So it's our two co-founders of Kaazing gave the spec back in 2007 to the standard bodies, and about 75% of that spec has been adopted in 2011, December 2011. It's an official WebSocket standard by the IETF organization.
So Kaazing, the company that you're director of technology for, actually created the spec?
Originally created a spec, but obviously there's some back and forth with the standard bodies discussion with some of these very smart people on the standard bodies. And at this point, the vast majority of that spec is due to co-founders.
That's awesome. So where is it? How do you say it? When did WebSockets blow up?
When did it blow up?
It sounds like they're like everywhere, right? And there's obviously we hear a lot more about them. We ourselves are using it. We have a technology that runs on Node, where the browser connects. We're using sockets for that.
Yeah,
you know.
great.
Yeah. So when in your estimation, do you think? Because you said you put the spec in like 5 or 6 years ago or something like that.
Well, things like this take time, right? It's a dramatic change for the web. We've had HTTP for 25 years. People are used to HTTP, so they don't understand like it's a new era now. We're using a 25-year-old technology. What's the next step? So now we have WebSocket, which is effectively an application-level socket. It's effectively TCP for the web. It's an application-level socket that allows real-time systems to now exist securely on the web.
All right. So, and I love how you put that. So it's basically TCP for the web, right? So basically, can you explain that, right? Because IP is very much disconnected. So if you could.
Sure. So we know that we have HTTP that sits on top of TCP, right? And we also now have, as of December 2011, we have now WebSocket. And we're both pure protocols that's on TCP. But WebSocket is a stream-based mechanism. So that means if it's a stream-based mechanism, it's very flexible, and other protocols can sit on top of WebSocket, as opposed to other protocols sitting on top of HTTP, which is a little clumsy, a little awkward. But WebSocket is more tuned for that type of thing. So you can take enterprise protocols that's been with dozens and dozens of application protocols and now sit on top of WebSocket. So now you can take these existing systems inside the firewall and expose them over the web securely through WebSocket in a real-time fashion.
What kind of protocols are we talking about?
Well, one popular one is oversubscribed messaging. Right? Most companies in the past 15 years have gone to this real-time enterprise where they're using a message broker, a collection of message brokers. How do you take that model and now have that live over the web? Before WebSocket, you can do that. You have to use HTTP to take your messages, convert them to HTTP, and get them over the web. But that's clumsy. You have this thing in the middle that's translation. It's very slow. It's awkward. WebSocket makes it so much simpler. And Kaazing provides things on top of the standard that makes it even easier for developers. And it gives you scalability, security, we have authentication and authorization built in, with clustering built in, load balancing built in, with a lot of enterprise features on top of the standard. Let's face it, there's 100 implementations of WebSocket out there.
Right.
You want to be at the top of the list for big companies to use WebSocket.
Very cool. Now, lastly, where is WebSockets heading?
Very good question. So, in our opinion, we believe that WebSockets is a key component for the Internet of Things. So, Internet of Things is a very big wave that's coming at us, and it's basically taking intelligent devices, machine to machine, and adding internet connectivity to these machines. But just adding connectivity is not sufficient. You have to make it easier to develop, you have to make it easier to deploy. There's all kinds of things. You have to have standards for APIs, standards for protocols. So we think that there's a place for the web in the Internet of Things. So part of my talk was the web of things. So we need to have this web layer on top of the Internet of Things layer that gives us all the benefits that we had with the web many years ago. Now with Internet of Things to make that accelerate. So as a developer, you can now build Internet of Things applications much faster.
Now, when we say Internet of Things, we're talking about like toasters connected to the internet, and our weight scales and the refrigerator. Basically, 8 things on the internet, like
cars, healthcare, music systems, media systems. It's not just like simple toaster, connected toaster kind of thing. There are serious healthcare things. Like during my talk, my colleague Kevin gave a demo of a heart rate monitor, or a doctor can monitor your heart. He has a live demo. He was wearing a device that sends his heart rate, send it over using the Kaazing WebSockets software, using a messaging model. And it was sent over to in the cloud. This data was sent to the cloud, and that data would be transmitted over the web to a browser, and you could see his heart rate live. Now, obviously, in a real world situation, when it's secure. So there's other mechanisms that our product has to make that very secure. You might not want everybody to know what your heart rate is, and then you're a candidate for some medication, and somebody's going to spam you with ads for some medical medicine. Right? So we provide the security framework.
That's very cool. I mean, that's exactly the type of scenario you would say that's you want that connection for. Now, it just seems so weird in a way because you have that from the old rich client days when you had a TCP open socket, right? To now having a similar style socket through the web in a browser through over HTTP, right? Just seems so. Isn't it crazy?
Well, again, it's not over HTTP. So
I'm sorry.
So there's 2 protocols for web now. There's HTTP and WebSocket. So you're right, is that we now have client server, something that we wanted for 25 years, over the web. So we finally have that. So now we can have these distributed systems that extend from the back end. Real-time APIs. It can be a market data provider wants to offer things in real time over the web and not have a VPN or some private network.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
client server again.
Very cool.
Frank, I thank you very much. Now, do you have a Twitter or a blog or anything that you'd like to promote, or do you just want to put Kaazing's?
Kaazing.com is fine. My Twitter handle is @FrankGreco, so it's very easy. I got lucky at the Frank Greco, so you can reach me that way also.
I was going for Frank Greco as well. It's not my name, but I wanted it. But Frank, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
I will.